one thing is probably for sure that, you know, if Cole Palmer is playing, you're probably going to get better out of Liam Delap and João Pedro. He's only played 13 matches this season. Now, I actually spoke to Liam Rosenior before the Paphos game, asked where Cole Palmer was because he wasn't in the squad. He said he's OK, it's precautionary, felt something in his thigh, he'll be available for Crystal Palace. Get to the Crystal Palace game, they asked where he is. Same answer given. How worried are we, Jace, with this Cole Palmer thigh issue that he's got?
Well, I think we have to be concerned the fact that his season really hasn't got going. He's played a handful of games.
Hasn't even started.
Club World Cup. Maybe it was inevitable that players were going to pick up little niggles. He has been out for long periods, hasn't really played back-to-back games that I can remember. Yeah, it's obviously a concern because he is our best creative player when fit, and you want your best players in the biggest games. And if he doesn't play against Napoli, when does he return? There is a concern, and not just domestically for him, but on a personal level for him. He will have the World Cup on his mind. So it is, you know, that is one of the most fiercely competitive areas of the pitch. That number 10 or that area in behind the front, whether it be on the right. But I'm just fingers crossed he can get himself fit and back-to-back games, or certainly available for selection at the moment. For not to be available for selection in the last two squads, it's obviously a concern.
I worry because I don't know if it's a surgery thing that he needs. Does he really need to go on a proper break and say, I'm actually injured verbatim, and then come back after? But then you would probably miss the World Cup. Yeah. You look at the players vying for that 10, Eze's not in form, he's not playing. Foden is really inconsistent and drops out of form.
Palmer, really Morgan Rogers.
Morgan Rogers is the only one really in any good form. You know, Cole Palmer's certainly not in good form. I agree with the manager. If he's not at 100%, there's no point in playing him. We don't want to see a half, you know, kind of baked Cole Palmer come onto the pitch where he's not really influencing the game. He's open to them more criticism, more question marks over performance. If you're not there, take a step out, and we just have to deal with the consequences. And the market is still open, so address it if that's the case.
Obviously, there were reports coming out earlier this week that he's a little bit homesick. I don't believe that for a second. I don't believe that he wants to go back to Manchester right this second, especially given he's on such a long contract. He's basically one of the players at Chelsea, along with Moises Caicedo, along with Enzo Fernandez, that's untouchable unless they're going to come in with probably a British record fee higher than what Liverpool paid for Alexander Isak, that sort of money. I can't see that happening anytime soon, especially because Man United are where they are with the attacking players they bought and with Bruno Fernandes in that sort of position at the moment. If Chelsea don't get Champions League, though, could we be looking at a situation where Cole Palmer could potentially leave this football club?
I think so. Yeah, I think that the best players want to play in the biggest competitions, and that, I don't blame them. Not just Cole Palmer. There's plenty across that squad that feel they should be. I mean, Reece James has won it. He does not want to be playing in inferior competition. So top 4, top 5, for me, is paramount importance. Obviously, we want a trophy on the way. Of course we do. But yes, there is always going to be a concern that if you can't offer players regular Champions League football, that they will start to consider what their options. And that doesn't just have Chelsea. Right across the board. Liverpool may be looking to miss out.
Why do I feel like it's different for Liverpool? I don't know why. I just feel like we're the only club that if we miss out on Champions League, players will look to go elsewhere. I don't know why, though.
Yeah, they're all the same. You can go right across. Yeah. Newcastle will be looking. Yeah, there's players in that squad that will feel they're good enough for Champions League football.
I think with Liverpool, because they just won the title, and obviously the really rare circumstances, heartbreaking circumstances there, I think maybe some of their players would understand the situation as to why they maybe dropped off this season. There isn't really that excuse for us in terms of we should be going up in an upward trajectory. We've got a young team. Talented players are there, and more talented players should be coming in. If you're not going on an upward trajectory, you've got to ask the questions as to why. And I think with us, absolutely Champions League football is critical, but also being in title races is critical. Yeah. If we don't take that next step up in the next season too, Cole Palmer should still have the same question as to why are we not in a title race. Reece James, same question, why are we not in a title race, minimum, and I want to win a Premier League.
Does Cole Palmer need to... Obviously, Reece James, is the levels that he has been playing at this season so consistently, wherever you put him, has been unbelievable. But, I mean, before Cole Palmer even thinks about moving anywhere, he's surely got to think about getting back to the Cole Palmer that he was in that first season under Mauricio Pochettino, because that is the best version of Cole Palmer anyone has ever seen.
Yep, and on a personal level for him, that's the most important thing now. Get yourself back fit. get yourself playing regularly, get those performances up to the level where we saw where he was, one of the best midfielders in European football at that particular time. So, look, fingers crossed for him, because I've had injuries myself. It can ruin a whole season, and let's fingers crossed it doesn't happen for him. But it's looking a little worrying for him, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Mm.
In that Manchester United-Arsenal game at the Emirates, the goals that Manchester United scored meant that Chelsea's record of 15 goals conceded in one Premier League season stays intact. So let's just take a quick look at how John Terry celebrated that.
January the 25th, 2026, and the record is safe. Man United 2, Arsenal 1. Still 25 minutes to go, but the record is safe for another season. So Peter Cech, Paulo Ferreira, Ricky Carvalho, William Gallas. It's time to celebrate with a bottle or a glass of red wine. I'm going for the bottle. Full celebration tonight. But guys, let me know your thoughts. Can this record of 15 goals conceded in one season ever be beaten? I'm saying no. I have to say I was a little bit worried the way Arsenal started the season and how well they started. But it's only January and the record has already gone. And it's safe for another year.
Oh, we love that, don't we?
Yes.
Yeah.
Bit of JT, bit of getting the fans going. No one seems to rattle everyone with stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, look, there was a point early in the season where Arsenal looked like that. They could really threaten that record. They were so stingy at the back, and it looked like, wow, this is going to put this Chelsea record under real pressure. Look, we're still in January. And January, and the record can't be broken. So it just goes to show we might never see in our lifetime that get beaten. And there is, JT must have, he will have a huge amount of pride 100%. In being part of the tightest, best defence the Premier League's ever seen.
Yeah.
Now you can't argue with that.
No.
You cannot argue. I stuck it in our group as soon as they conceded.
The record's still intact. Because I remember there was a time on the show and we were a little bit like, let's give it a little bit, because they conceded 3 in the first 15 games or something stupid like that.
Listen, they are a very, very defensive. They're a very good side. Things have changed a little bit recently. So look, it's a record that John Terry must be, and he is incredibly, and I'm proud of it. The fact that it belongs to my club.
Yeah. I think the fact that I think we broke so many records at that time, Jose's seasons especially, of I think we scored the most goals, or maybe that was under Ancelotti, or goals conceded, or the most points. But they've all since been broken by Manchester City.
Record as well.
Yeah, the unbeaten home record as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, John Terry then posted on his story the goals that we did concede that season, the 15 of them. 9 of them came from open play. 9 goals in 38 games came from open play. There's an own goal in there as well. Nicholas Anelka, that goal that meant we didn't go unbeaten that season, so we could have gone invincible as well. That record will never be beaten, will it, Matisse?
No, I don't think so.
No.
I genuinely don't think so. I think that record is truly ridiculous. I think it's just as hard to do as the Invincibles that obviously Arsenal do talk about, and rightly so. But for us, that record there, 15 goals conceded over 38 games. Not only do you need to be a little bit lucky with injuries, and you don't want to rotate your back line, you don't want to see, backup goalkeepers or backup fullbacks coming into it, but we're talking about legendary defenders and a legendary goalkeeper. The height of concentration constantly and racking up clean sheets for fun, to the point where, like we said, when we took the lead and went 1-0 up, that was game done and over. For me, that won't be broken. And
also, just going back to the weekend, and I'm on it again, but the desire that JT kind of typified of not to concede. He'd throw himself in things. He'd put his head in a cement mixer if it meant keeping a clean sheet. Yeah. And that was why I was a little disappointed the weekend that we conceded a little bit of a meh goal. Under that stewardship with JT, those sort of goals didn't happen.
Yeah.
If you scored either a bit of good fortune, set piece, or you deserved it, the weekend just a bit. Anyway.
JT would put his head in a cement mixer. That just sums up
just to
JT.
Keep a clean sheet.
He absolutely would have. He put his head in places down there. You remember that diving header for England? No arm,
cup final as well.
Yeah, I don't think that record of 15 goals in a Premier League season will ever be beaten.